LibertyNation.com legal affairs editor Scott Cosenza jumps on board to discuss the sudden controversy over guns produced by 3D printers and the trial of one-time Trump associate Paul Manafort.
Liberty Nation with Tim Donner.
And now it is time for us to welcome in our regular contributor, LibertyNation.com constitutional lawyer, legal affairs editor, Scott Cosenza. Hello, Scott.
Hi, Tim.
So much going on this week, even though it's August, which is supposed to be a break in the action, but...
Blame air conditioning, Tim. All these people staying around the Capitol causing trouble instead of going home like they need to.
That's true. You know, in the days of when the swamp didn't have any air conditioning, everybody cleared out in August. And now the Senate's staying in session this month trying to secure the confirmation of many judges.
A postmortem on the republic that will surely include Carrier or whoever invented air conditioning.
I agree.
What's taking place?
It's actually one of the most underrated advances of modern civilization, but we'll get to that. First, Democrat judges and attorneys general stomp on free speech over 3D printing and guns. This has just exploded into the news this week.
This guy called Cody Wilson and his group called Defense Distributed created plans for 3D printers to be able to print in the 3D printer a certain part of a gun that is the registerable part to that gun. So legally speaking, that sort of is what makes it a firearm. And they were distributing that file over the internet, and the Department of the State under the Obama administration basically shut them down. They sued for their right to continue to post that. And they won. They won a settlement by the Department of State this past week. They got paid $40,000 for their legal fees, and they, as a marketing decision, were going to kind of launch it afresh on August the 1st and launch this file again as a popular hosting platform for the file. In advance of that, a number of Democrat attorneys general, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Maryland, New York, the usual suspects, Washington included, ran to court to say, oh, the sky's falling, we can't have people have this. And it's a great thing obviously for political purposes. That's why they did it. It seems to me to be clearly free speech, Tim. This is simply... It's like how to build a gun if it were a handbook. You couldn't restrict that, right, on, some kind of free,
It's a restriction of a flow of information.
That's all it is. This is a set of instructions that a person can use. And, by the way, just so people are clear, it is legal to build a gun for most people. Meaning if you're a felon, then I'm not talking to you. But if you're an adult and you're free from, you haven't been involuntarily committed, et cetera, it's usually legal federally for you to build your own gun for your own use.
We can't go into the whole 3D printing things, but it is a revolution. For a gun, though, a 3D printed gun can fire, as I understand, once, and that's it.
The printer prints the registerable part, which is why I went into that explanation. And then you buy all the other parts that aren't registered. You can buy them mail order. You can buy them, make them out of metal. So they are robust and can handle multiple shots. It's only that one part that need to be made out of plastic. And so for some guns, there are 3D printed guns that are the whole firearm. And that's what you're talking about, that are capable of a one round or maybe a couple rounds.
But this is just a part. This is a key element.
But the thing that I think is kind of more revolutionary is you get this part made out of plastic that you could print at home, and then it just removes the government entirely from the process.
Now, if the government is to ban, government broadly speaking, is to ban the passing or sharing of information about how to make a 3D gun, will they also remove from the internet or order removed from the internet instructions on how to build homemade bombs, for example, because that's out there too.
Or prosecute the people who do. Pennsylvania's Attorney General, whose name it kills me that I can't remember right now in order to denigrate him, has come out with the fantastic idea that it is the same thing to give somebody a firearm as it is to give them 3D printed plan, or not even give them, make available 3D printed plans for firearms that they can then access themselves. It's a shocking grant of censorious authority for that office, and it seems to me to be clearly violative of Pennsylvania's and the federal constitutional protections for free speech that we all enjoy.